Chang lives an almost normal life with his wife with its ups and downs. One day he wakes up and decides to use her ointment cure to make his skin look better, but his wife Mi-ho is mad at him for doing so. After they get ready, they go to their jobs. Mi-ho is a nurse and her colleagues are jealous of her because she is married to a lawyer. Most of them believe that Chang makes good money, but Mi-ho proclaims that she is not married to him for the money. That day, Chang has a big case to handle, but he loses. A crowd gathers around him to blame him for the result of the case, and they give him the nickname Big Mouth because he talks too much, but he loses all of his cases. Chang sits just outside the court with his father-in-law Gi Kwang to discuss about the case. Mi-ho calls them, but both of them are afraid to get her call. Chang finally answers the call because he has no other choice and admits to his wife that he lost again, which means that he is not going to bring money back home. Mi-ho is mad at him and asks him to get a divorce. Chang tries to use his father-in-law as leverage, but Mi-ho seems to have made her decision. That night, Mi-ho has a couple of drinks while her father prepares Chang's bags. When he hands the clothes to his son-in-law, Chang asks him to try to help him with Mi-ho. Gi Kwang can't do much, but one day later, Chang comes to the house with a big pile of money, hoping to reconcile with Mi-ho. His wife wonders how he got this much money, but there is something she does not know. Chang meets with the city's mayor, Choi, who is the man who paid him the money. Choi wants him to take upon a case where 3 men are involved. These men were caught accidentally in a car accident, and a dead body was found in the trunk of their car. In reality, Chang is not going to act as a lawyer, but rather a front man. The 3 men will take care of the case by bribing the judges and performing other devious acts, while Chang will just pretend to be their lawyer. Chang is reluctant to take upon this case, but the mayor says that he wants to hire him to find the truth. The 3 men have a dash cam video hidden somewhere, which probably shows what really happened. Chang accepts the offer and visits the 3 men in prison. They are Dr. Han, Du-gyeon, and Chaibong. The 3 men believe that Chang is the perfect candidate because he is a loser. He is going to do whatever they tell him to do. Unexpectedly, they receive a phone call from the warden who informs them that somebody has given the police an anonymous tip about the dashcam video. In reality, though, Chang was the one to give that anonymous tip. As he walks outside the cell, Chang slips a recorder inside their cell to be able to listen to their conversation. Chang hears that another accomplice of theirs has the dashcam video and calls the mayor to inform him about it. Choi and Chang visit the studio where Miss Jung is filming her cooking show. Chang is Dr. Han's wife. The woman is attacked by a mysterious man that same day, but she is saved by her visitors. Chang asks her about the dashcam video, but Chang refuses she has such video in her possession. Then Chang plays the recording from the prison for her and tells her that she is going to be convicted as an accomplice to a crime. But if she gives him the video, Chang will not involve her name in the case. Chang is convinced to give him the video, but apart from that, she also gives him the name of Gong Ji-hoon, the president of a big newspaper. When Chang goes home, he watches the video. The video depicts the 3 guilty men killing Professor Seo. In his dying breath, Seo tells them that their secret is going to be revealed. Chang begins doing better with his financial situation since he is paid by the mayor and decides to take his wife on an expensive dinner. But soon he receives a call and has to leave. A kind female employee offers him a free coffee, but the drink is spiked. Chang starts feeling dizzy when he drives and crashes the car. Despite the intensity of the accident, Chang wakes up soon after dreaming about how he met his wife. Meanwhile, a man searches his car and steals the dash cam video. But that is not his only problem. The police have a search warrant for his office, and they find some interesting things in it. They find a stash of drugs, a stash of money, and even some gold. Chang is arrested, and the media, along with the police, consider him to be a notorious criminal known as Big Mouse. The lawyer tries to ask Choi for help, but the mayor turns him down and tells him that he should have been more careful. Chang is taken to prison, and the 3 men decide to kill him as he is not useful to them anymore. As they are about to execute him, President Gong Ji-hoon calls the warden to order him to stop them. Big Mouse has stolen money from him, and he wants to get it back. If Big Mouse dies, he will not be able to find where the money is. The warden stops the execution, and Chang has to get used to his new life as a prisoner. When he is thrown into his cell, Chang watches Mi-ho speaking to some reporters. Before she finishes her speech, she turns into the camera to address Chang and tells him that she tried to visit him, but they did not allow her to see him. Later, a prosecutor interrogates Chang, trying to figure out if he is Big Mouse. The prosecutor even plugs him to a lie detector. But when he asks the big questions, the episode cuts to another scene without letting us know if Chang is Big Mouse or not. Later, Ji-hoon visits his friends in prison to tell them that they should not lay a finger on Big Mouse because he has to find his money first. The warden watches this conversation through his cameras while he eats popcorn. He finds this situation very interesting because some of these powerful men want Big Mouse dead while others don't. Later, the warden decides to have a talk with Chang to ask him if he really is Big Mouse. He is friendly toward him in the beginning, but he gets more hostile when Chang exclaims he is not Big Mouse. Chang is disappointed with how things developed and doesn't care if he lives or dies. He picks a fight with a prison boss named Chun-sik, but realizes that his will to live is stronger than his disappointment and beats him up. Then he corners a psycho serial killer and tries to get him to kill him, but the serial killer breaks down in tears when Chang mentions his mother. This incident causes the other inmates to believe he really is Big Mouse. A famous criminal like him would totally have the guts to fight against anyone. Later, Chang pretends he is going to escape in order to make the guards shoot him, but they just arrest him. The reason for that is because the warden is watching what's happening through his cameras and he orders his men to stand down. The next day, the prisoners are taken to work on cleaning the drains, but things get out of hand when the guards bring them food because they consider it disgusting. Chang has started identifying with the persona of Big Mouse, and he starts a mini riot. The prisoners grab buckets of poop and they attack the guards with it. At some point, things escalate, and the warden has to intervene in order to stop them. Chang approaches him and speaks in his ear that he is going to kill him and the three powerful men if Warden Park continues to make his life miserable. Eventually, the warden takes a step back and allows the prisoners to get some better food. After a while, Chang is informed that his lawyer is here to see him. Mi-ho has come along because she has received Chang's divorce papers and wants to stop him from taking any further action. Chang explains to her that he wants to keep her safe, so getting a divorce will protect her. On the other hand, Mi-ho can't let their past go and insists on being his wife. She supports him and she is going to stay with him no matter what. Later, Chang is taken to solitary confinement, and that's where his identity truly merges with the one of Big Mouse. His voiceover cites the psychologist Carl Jung, saying something along the lines that a man can become the persona he keeps replaying in his subconscious mind. When he is taken to the general population again, Chang is a changed man. Everybody worships him for what he does for the prisoners, and Chang is about to take it one step further. He asks his fellow inmate Jerry to inform everyone in the prison that he is going to grant the wishes of the prisoners. A few prisoners meet with him to ask him for what they want. One of them is the cell's room leader, who asks Chang to find his lost daughter. She has been gone for a long time, and nobody knows her whereabouts. He tried to find her himself, but things got complicated, and he ended up in prison. Then, the psycho serial killer asks Chang to help his mother. She is sick, and she is being hospitalized. In the meantime, Mi-ho starts a new job as a nurse at the hospital, where the mayor's wife is working. She is doing this in the hope of finding more information about Professor Seo. According to the dash cam video, Professor Seo might have left a paper behind that will burn some powerful people. She starts working as a caregiver for cancer patients and soon has to help one of them when their heart stops. Mi-ho gives them CPR and saves the patient. But instead of praising her, Hyun scolds her. Mi-ho is new and she doesn't know that the relatives of all of the patients on this floor have signed an order not to give CPR to their people in cases like this one. Mi-ho finds this to be very weird and annoying, but she has to be careful and find out more intel. When she takes a break outside, she sees a man from the hospital trying to convince a woman to sign the same order for her relative, who is a patient in the hospital. Back inside the prison, the three powerful men call the warden for a talk and make it clear that they want to kill Chang. The warden can't allow them to do it, though, because he has different orders from Ji-hoon. On the other hand, he can't say no to the big pile of money that the three men are offering him. They are just asking the warden to look the other way once. Soon the three VIPs gather some prisoners for this mission, and the guards lock them in an area with Chang and his followers. The two groups start fighting while the serial killer gets a knife out and starts walking toward Chang, even though he has been posing as his follower. The room leader sees him and jumps on his way, saving Chang from the attack. The warden has to intervene and stop the fight because if he does not, Ji-hoon will figure out he was a part of this. The next day, another incident takes place in the hospital when Mi-ho administrates 2 milligrams of a drug to a patient. The head nurse scolds her because she should have given him 1 milligram. To resolve their conflict, they take a look at the patient's card on the computer to find out what his prescription is. The dosage is indeed 1 milligram, but Miho says that somebody has changed the number because it was 2 milligrams earlier. She has proof of it because she has taken a screenshot on her phone. Later, Hyun gathers the personnel in the conference and Miho decides to go on the offensive. She jumps up while Hyun is speaking and throws a bait by saying that she has read Professor Seo's paper. According to it, they are doing many things opposite to the correct medical policies. While Miho commutes back to her house, she has a creepy feeling like somebody is watching over her. Thankfully, she meets with her father and can return home safely. As they do, she receives a phone call from the mayor, who asks her to meet in person. Inside the prison, a series of events take place that work in favor of Chung. One of his attackers dies inside his cell in solitary confinement. The guards believe that this guy ended himself because there is no way somebody else can get in there. However, there is a certain prisoner who can't stop screaming that Big Mouse killed this man. The doctor comes to see this screaming prisoner and concludes that he is totally nuts. When a bunch of prisoners are released to the general population in the cafeteria, all eyes are on them because things may get tense between them and Big Mouse. When these guys sit down to eat, one of them is poisoned and dies. All the prisoners watch, believing that Big Mouse is taking his opponents out one by one. At the same time, Chang considers the possibility of Big Mouse being inside the same prison and actually being the one who framed him. Soon, Ji-hoon visits the prison to have a talk with Chang and asks him to get his money back. Chang is not going to give it to him, but Ji-hoon wonders how he can be certain Chang is really Big Mouse. He exclaims that Big Mouse did business with some drug dealers and asks him to get the names of the top drug dealers he worked with. Chang doesn't know these names, so he replies that he likes to keep his clients safe and private. Ji-hoon is not convinced and gives him 5 days to tell him the names, or else he will assume he is not Big Mouse and he will kill him. When Ji-hoon leaves, Chang attacks a guard to get his hands on his phone and calls the mayor to ask him for the names. The mayor has gotten that list of names from the prosecutor, but he refuses to help Chang and hangs up on him. Inside the prison, the warden and some of his guards review the footage from the cafeteria, and they realize that the man who died swallowed a cyanide pill. This means that he ended himself and was not killed by Big Mouse. The warden orders his men to search Chang's cell, but they find nothing suspicious in it. Warden Park tells Chang that he knows his secret. He likes to be worshipped, but he did not kill those men. Chang claims that he did not have to use his hands to kill those men, but how were they convinced to end themselves? Meanwhile, Miho is still being followed, so she texts her father for help. Mr. Gi and Soon Tai, a lawyer who's Chang's friend, intercept the man and put him in handcuffs. The man reveals that he is the mayor's secretary, so Choi visits Miho to clarify the situation. As he claims, he was worried about her because she mentioned Seo's paper, so he had his secretary follow her in order to make sure she would be fine. He also hands her a list outlining Big Mouse's top 5 drug clients. Miho wastes no time, and she visits her husband to hand him the list. Inside the prison, a bunch of betting cards start being smuggled inside as the inmates go crazy with predictions of who will win the war between Big Mouse and the 3 VIPs. The guards try to put an end to this betting madness, but Big Mouse confronts the 3 VIPs directly and tells them that he has a way to prove he is Big Mouse, so they place a bet on it. At the same time, Choi meets with Ji-hoon in an art gallery, and the powerful media man reveals that the list he had given the prosecutor was fake. Chang will give him the fake names he provided them with, and that will prove to him that he is not really Big Mouse. Choi tries to call Chang to warn him, but to no avail as the phone is in the hands of the warden. Soon, the guards get Chang from his cell and take him toward the meeting room. The crowd cheers for Big Mouse as he walks through the prison while the mayor makes his way inside the penitentiary. Choi wants to have a talk with Chang, but the warden can't allow him to do it. He orders his guards to take Chang away, and the lawyer soon meets with the 3 VIPs. Ji-hoon is also waiting for him because he is going to be a part of this game. Choi can't miss the fun, so he joins them in the meeting room. The warden outlines the rules of the game. Ji-hoon is going to write the names of the top 5 drug clients of Big Mouse on a paper, and then he will fold it so nobody can see it. Then, Big Mouse will write the same names and they will compare the papers to see if the names match. Everybody's expecting Big Mouse to lose, but they are surprised to see that the names match perfectly when they unfold his paper. Some inmates are very happy when the results get out as they have won their bets. Back inside the meeting room, Choi thinks to himself that Chang is really Big Mouse and has been playing him. On the other hand, Jihoon proclaims that he can't believe Chang is Big Mouse. He informs everyone that a man named Peter Hong has been arrested, and he will be able to tell them if this is really Big Mouse. Peter Hong is the fund manager to whom Big Mouse gave his money so he can launder it by making investments. Indeed, Chang is taken to the interrogation room so Hong can see him, and the prosecutor asks him if this is Big Mouse. However, Hong's alarm clock rings, and he has to get his insulin shot. He gets a shot before he can answer the question, but he ends up dying. Next, Jihoon has a private talk with Choi and asks him if he is Big Mouse. Choi feels a bit uncomfortable, but Jihoon exclaims that he is just joking. As their conversation reveals, there is some bad blood between the two. Apparently, there is a man nicknamed the Elder who runs the city and has made both of them who they are. Jihoon is jealous because the Elder favors Choi more than him. Later, Jihoon invites Miho to dinner because if she really is Big Mouse's wife, she is as dangerous as him. He talks to her about Professor Seo's paper and offers to buy it from her. All she has to do is to name a price for it. Miho is not going to negotiate with him, so she just leaves. When the earnings from the bets are distributed,